Welcome to Why Not Us podcast. You already know what it is. It's Freestyle Friday with Sheeka, man. What's good, man? What the business is, man?
What's going on? Freestyle Friday chats with Sheeka. I'm so glad again to be here. It's a good day. It's Friday. So I'm definitely feeling amazing. I am amazing. Put my affirmation. I am amazing. Yeah. So how are you feeling today?
Man, I feel liberated. I feel free. I'm just good. You know what I mean? I'm in a good space.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about me.
Mm-hmm.
Just learning different levels of myself. Um, I'm not in the codependency energy anymore. Um,
Mm-hmm.
people pleasing energy no more. So it's just like, yo, I'm just learning more about me. I'm tapping more into me, and that's where I'm at, man. I'm good mentally, and gratitude is the attitude. And I
Man.
gotta tell you something. Thank you so much for
Still, technical difficulties, but we still here. So I hope everybody's doing good. It's Friday. We'll wait for Ken J to come on back in. But I hope anybody that's watching the replay or anybody that's tapping into us live today, just as a reminder, we talk about any and everything. I normally consult my decks and I'll pull a card and we just have a conversation. That's the beauty of Freestyle Friday chats, is that we can come in and just talk about anything and whatever. And if anybody has any questions, even after the live is over, replay, you want to tap in and put some comments in, you can. We here. All right, go ahead. It paused right when you were saying, giving me some love.
hold on, let me tell you,
Yeah, you good.
it just went away from the whole screen.
Mm.
Like it just went away, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it just went away. But I appreciate you for always coming to the platform. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for just taking out time out of your day and coming here on Friday. Thank you so much. Gratitude is the attitude. Thank you. I appreciate you.
I receive all of that. And again, of course, I always am thanking you for allowing me to come on your platform, and to be able to do this. I was just saying, like, I was waiting for you to come back, like this, just to be able to come up here and just be authentic and just say, talk about what we want to talk about. But this allows me to be open up another space of me that I've been sitting on. And I always go back to gifts, and us knowing what our gifts are. But I thank you for allowing me to come on your platform, and I'm proud of you for continuing to keep pushing. I know sometimes it's hard to start stuff, start a new business, come from an entrepreneur standpoint. Sometimes we want to give up and like, why am I doing this? But to keep pushing, I appreciate that for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man, because it can be very trying at times. Because sometimes the human thing to do is to want people to support you, and you want the same energy that you give out to be reciprocated, and sometimes it doesn't. So sometimes I get kind of you have that bitter type energy. You feel what I'm saying? But then I just sit back and I sit in myself and I just understand that instead of focusing on the people that's not supporting me, let me focus on the people that are supporting me.
Facts, that part.
So
I love it.
that's the whole vibe right there, man.
Okay.
So what words, man? Like
right.
what are you?
Let's get into it. So I got 3 cards that I pulled out. So 2 are more like affirmation cards, and we'll go through them. The first one is what's stuff from my Oracle deck. It's actually an animal card. So I'll start with that one. So that one is the animal. Today we got the animal of the bear. And the message for the bear on this card is be sensitive to where you are at and reflect on where you would most need healing. So be sensitive to where you are. Take a time where you are now, reflect on that, and really think about what you need to do for your healing. Because a lot of times we are so busy coping that we are not healing. Like, okay, take a pill that takes the symptoms away. I'm feeling better. I'm going on about my day. But the root cause is still there. So being sensitive to the process is so important. So you can really sit and reflect on, like, okay, I still need to work on that. A lot of us have a lot of inner child stuff that we just running away from and neglecting. So that's what stands out for me when I initially see that. But just being sensitive to the process, I think a lot of us are scared to be vulnerable just with our own self healing. It's easy to give all the encouragement to other people, but then to not be sensitive to our own selves and show self compassion and really reflect on where we need to go. So the bear is here to remind us of that. So, what are your thoughts on this?
So when I think about that, especially like in just a self-awareness, tapping into self and really understanding how to love yourself, because loving yourself is really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you've never poured into yourself and you're codependent and you're self-pleasing and you love pleasing everybody else. It takes time for you to even understand how powerful you are. Like because you waste all your time just trying to give and give to everybody else, and it's like, yo, bro, the same love that you're giving everybody else, bro, give that love to you type vibe. So you have to be real sensitive with yourself. You have to be kind to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta understand. You gotta really sit still with yourself and
Yeah.
be with yourself. Be present, because sometimes we get so caught up in doing A, B, C, and D that we forget about ourselves and we get lost up in it. So the thing for me is I'm working still on understanding that I don't need outside validation. I'm
Mm.
all the validation that I need. Everything that I once was looking outside of me, now I'm looking inside of me, because I can't look outside of me if I don't love myself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
That's
basically what I'm doing.
That's a good one. No, and you know what's crazy? That's ironic because one of my journal prompts that I was processing yesterday was about validation. And the message was like, if you're still seeking external validation sometimes from people or, different things, you need to go inward a little bit more. So when you're triggered and you're realizing, like, and I use a personal example, a transparent moment. I was having a conversation and I was, saying something like comparing myself, and I knew, and
Mm-hmm.
when I said it out loud, I was like, wait, what am I doing? Like, I am just as important as anybody else, just as much as a celebrity, as much as anybody else. It's how we view ourselves. But a lot of times, sometimes we are seeking compliments or seeking validation, and it's like, nah, I need to go inward and give it to myself. So when I don't get it, because again, that's human nature. We're gonna want to hear the affirmations from other people. We're gonna want to hear, the approval from our parents or people that love
Mm-hmm.
us. We're gonna want that. That's sometimes inner kid coming up. That's sometimes
Yes.
us just needing that validation. And we gotta honestly be in a space to say, like, oh, is that an 8-year-old me needing that hug or needing that validation? Or is that adult me just indecisive because I don't know what to do and I'm leaning on, ooh, I'm coming out of my recovery mode of being a people pleaser or codependency. Like, being able to have that awareness is so important. But a lot of times I know for me is that I used to be heavy in that, just seeking it, and it's like, nah. But that was one of my journal prompts. I was doing a shadow work prompt yesterday, and it was like, do you still seek external validation? When does that come up for you, and how does that make you feel now versus how you were in 6 months? So it's all about, again, and we were talking about this before, like just learning how to evolve, but then
Mm-hmm.
seeing like, okay, in 6 months I probably would have responded this way or been like, well,
Mm-hmm.
dang, or repeated myself, just like, okay, did they not hear me? I'm trying to get validation,
Yeah.
versus like, okay, let me go in and do some self-reflection work. And then if they happen to give me a compliment later or validation, that's great, but I didn't need it from the beginning. So that part is important, because sometimes we're not sensitive to realize, like, we got to be able to slow down, to be able to take in our own internal validation and love ourselves a little bit deeper. So
Yeah, because I actually do like compliments.
mm-hmm.
I do like compliments. I do like hearing those things. But if a person or anybody is not going to give it to you naturally, then you have to give it to your own self. I love myself, Kendra. I love you. So I
Mm-hmm.
tell myself that in the mirror. Is in one of my daily rituals I do.
Okay,
So
love it.
it's very important to really like, yo, you got to be your own empowerment.
Yeah,
You
got
have to
to.
encourage yourself, like, real talk. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because I used to
Mm-hmm.
get so mad at people, like, man, why you ain't encouraging me? But I ain't telling them this. But deep down
Yeah,
inside, I'm mad because
yeah.
why aren't you seeing me? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. That's a good one though. And you know what? That falls for right into one of the things about projectors. they have to wait to be recognized. You guys need recognition. And so even though we work on internal validation, like you said, the validation that comes from people, it has to be genuine.
Yeah.
Like people saying, I see you. Because a lot of times we want the wrong people to see us. And it's like, okay. Like, and then that sometimes is like a form of love too. Like knowing like, okay, they see me for who I really am and they're not judging me. They understand when I'm in a mood and I don't want to be bothered. They don't get in their feelings, or they understand that sometimes I'm trying to go through my own healing process and I ain't got time to deal with yours stuff today. I don't want to deal with it. Because sometimes I might not have the space to. But so that validation is important. That's one that we probably talk about several times, because again, us operating, we spiritual beings having this human experience. Sometimes that human experience wants that validation, but that spiritual self may just be, may not be able to reach it on their own. So sometimes it's okay to seek it, but not all the time. Not all the time.
Yeah, because you know how the universe works too. So say for instance, that's what you want. So that's the energy you putting out. And sometimes it comes from people that it don't need to come from. You feel what I'm saying? So in a sense, that's a distraction. So the universe trying to see like what you gonna do. Mm-hmm. What you gonna do in this situation right now? You saying that you need A, B, C, and D. It didn't say where it was gonna come from.
That's right.
It never said where it was gonna come from. Like, whoo.
Yeah. That's why when we thinking about our goals and we that kind of thing is very important to get specific and say what you want. Like if you want a particular car, then you manifest what that car is, but you got to say I want. For me, I'm stuck on. I want a red Blazer. So when it's time, it's gonna be time. My dream car, even since I was in freaking middle school, was to have a Lexus. And so I've always said like that's gonna be one of my cars. Now I still love them, but don't feel as strongly about them. But I gotta be intentional what I want, or I might not, get what I want. And that's just just a bigger example. But sometimes we have to be able to say like I want that job making $90,000 a year, or I want a house that has da da da. But outside of those material things, when we go deeper into that internal reflection, to be able to say like I want to have a peace of mind. Yes. I want to wake up tomorrow and not have to worry about. That's why I love my Reiki principles. Like one of the principles is just for the day I will not worry. Just for the day I will not anger. Just for the day I will be grateful of whatever work that I'm putting out. So sometimes it's like just for today. That's why I love my principles. Just for today. I ain't worried about tomorrow. Just for today.
So it's just the power of now, right? Yeah, because that's all we have is now. It's not about yesterday. It's not about the future. All we have right now is now, and it's whatever you're gonna do with it with that moment. You could choose to be happy. You could choose to be mad. You could choose to dwell in what happened 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like you really have to reprogram your whole body to really understand. Like, yo, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And I refuse to do that. I refuse to continue to go back into the space that I once was. No, I already left that. I'm here. Mm-hmm. Growth is a beautiful thing.
Say that.
You know what I mean? I say, let's go.
Let's go.
I got time today.
I know that's right. We need to come out. So the next one actually is these affirmation cards are from my human design deck, but they hit each different particular chakra. So this particular chakra is a throat chakra card, and the title of the affirmation is Divine Timing Guides My Words. And so the affirmation is, when the request comes for me to share my wisdom, my message will empower those who are meant to be impacted by my insights. I am reminded that there is no need to force my words onto others. That's from the throat chakra. So this is one thing too that, and we kind of touched on this earlier too, like just knowing like we all got gifts. And a lot of times people is still sitting on their gifts and don't realize what that is. And it ain't got to be a talent about singing, knowing how to draw, like all the things that we raised to believe that's where creativity comes. But your creativity is just in your being, your existence. And so when it comes to sharing your wisdom and your gifts, it's always somebody out there that can benefit from the story. I'm thankful for things that I've learned about people, because it's like, Me too. Because sometimes we feel so alone on this journey. And so when we know other people got stuff to share, it motivates us. But when it comes to us sharing our message and our wisdom, it's gonna touch who it's gonna touch. Sometimes things can move a little slow. Social media used to be a big fear because I was always just like, it was just a fear of the unknown, before I really start tapping into deciding to, be an entrepreneur, but then also deciding to like, what do I want to talk about? What do I want to share? Do I want to touch on these things? And I know I got a lot to say. I got a defined throat, so I know I got a lot to say. But it's just, knowing when to share that wisdom. And then if you don't touch one person, that's great. But then that last part, I am reminded that there is no need to force my words on the others. If people don't want to hear us, then okay, your loss. But we got something to say. But what comes from you, again, that divine timing guides my words.
That's what it is right there. Because sometimes you just feel like you have to just not even say nothing. You know what I mean? Because I used to talk because I wanted to be heard, and sometimes it wasn't even meant for me to talk yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I have so much to share, I have so much to give, and I see so much, and it's like I can't talk to people and get people to understand me if they're not on the same frequency. Yes. So what I'll do is I'll leave different gems. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And guess what? For a podcast, it will always be there in the archives.
Always.
So sometimes the message that I'm giving today might be a message that somebody received in 2027.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? So I just move when I move, and I say what I say when I say it. And that's how I move. You just know. You just gotta know. You gotta know when to hold it, know when to fold, and know when to speak. So that's where I'm at, because I'm a powerful entity. You know what I'm saying? I see things, I see things, and I feel things from people. Like I really can look at somebody and I feel it.
Yeah.
And I won't say nothing to them until they come to me. And when they come to me, I already knew what the issue was.
Yep, that's your gift. That's your gift. And that's the thing too, like even sometimes with me, like when I'm in the roles, especially my main role as a therapist, but also as a coach, but in my role as a therapist, sometimes spirit just speaks through me. I tell my clients, like, you better make sure you have a notebook or something to type, because sometimes like, what was that you said? Listen, sometimes I don't even know. Sometimes spirit just speaks through me and it just comes out. I may sometimes be reminded of it, but there are times too that we speak stuff that is meant for certain people. There are times that the message that we have might be so advanced that people may not be ready for. Like you said, it might touch them years from now. And there are times that sometimes we focus our message and what we're trying to say to the wrong people. I'm always a big advocate for like knowing your audience, but sometimes it might be 10 people, but one person in that audience might be who you're really talking to, and that's all that really matters. So one thing I've learned too is just sometimes when spirits speak to us, we speak and we move on by our day, but then making sure that we are knowing who we talking to, because we want to make sure that our time is valuable. Like we don't have time to be wasting, but it's so much time that we don't even realize how much time we waste, that we have to make sure that from a collective standpoint, we are reaching the ones that really want to invest in just wanting to hear. Like it don't take much to listen to a podcast. People, and I'm not, because I watch TV too, but I know as I get older, I pull away from certain things as far as what I watch. But sometimes I would rather sit and watch a live and take notes and learn something than to watch TV. And I promise you, my TV, like Maurice joking the other day was like, you've been watching Cheers like since we've been together. Cheers is comforting, is familiar. I don't have to watch it. It's noise in the background, because sometimes I might just have that, or I might turn to sound bowls or whatever in the background. But sometimes it's just that if we got something to say, we got to be able to go into the right frequency and listen to the right message to receive. Because sometimes we spend so much time on things, and it's like, you could have read like 4 chapters in the book and fed your mind, right? And then you could have, either healed, or you could have been helping somebody else heal. So that part right there I felt like that was for me too, just to kind of remind for me to know, like, I know the impact that I came here to do. I know the impact that I make, because I get compliments all the time from my clients, and I'm very blessed and I'm very grateful. And then I'm very blessed for my quiet time too, so I can take in what I need, because I'm still on my healing journey too. Which leads into the last card that I pulled, and the title of it is "I Release the Dark and embrace the light. This comes from the solar plexus area, the emotional center. So the affirmation is there is no such things as failures, only lessons. I embrace the ebb and flow that life brings my way. I am reminded that each lesson is a moment of growth and expands my wisdom. Yes. So me, and I'll let you. I'm gonna let you take the lead on this one. But one thing I will say, that's a message I'm always like, not fussing, but always reminding my clients, like, embrace the darkness, embrace the parts of you that you hide. That's why I'm big on loving all parts of us, because a lot of times we get so ashamed, and shame is a big part of our shadow, of the dark side, that it's like, no, we need to process that shame so you can shine. Like, and I'm very proud to say, like, my name is, I found out later on, like, that my name ended up being Arabic, but part of my name means ray of light, means graceful. And I had somebody tell me, like, a person tell me what my name meant. And so I'm big on light anyway, but a lot of us don't even realize the light that we have. And we just want to be happy all the time and be positive. But it's like, I need y'all to know that the dark side going to come up, because it doesn't matter where we are in our healing journey. There's still going to be the shadow aspect of us if we don't work on it. And even when we work on it, it's still going to be there. Like, so when we don't embrace all of us, we'll never be whole. So
for sure,
that part right there is so important to know. Like, dark, shadow self, love self equals whole, equals Ashe, and to be able to know what that is. But what's your connection to that one?
Duality, you know what I'm saying? For sure. Like, darkness is a part of you. You feel me? Darkness is a part of you, whether it be you're dealing, I mean, it's just what it is. You're gonna have rainy days, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had a rainy day like last week, you know what I'm saying? I was just I just felt like that I wasn't giving my all, you know what I'm saying? I felt like that I wasn't doing what I needed to do. I felt like that I wasn't making any progress, you know what I'm saying? So that was a part of a dark period for me. But I sat in my feelings and I allowed myself to be in that moment. Instead of running away from that moment, I embraced that moment. And I sat in solitude. I cried. I talked to my parents. I talked to my partner. I talked to my sister. I felt a certain way at that time, you know what I'm saying? Because I was comparing myself to other people. You know what I'm saying? I was comparing myself to other people, and that's the thief of all. That's taking joy away from you, because you can't compare yourself to nobody. But I can't sit here and lie and say that I didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's the transparency for me. It's the realness for me. Sometimes we're at that point in our life that we don't even know we're coming and going. You know what I'm saying? That's at that moment right there. You have to sit in that moment. And you have to understand, let's focus on the power of now. Let's meditate right now. Let's meditate. Let's focus on our breathing. You know what I'm saying? Yo, okay, everything that I need, I have in front of me. So that's when I started going into, I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for my platform. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's when I went into that. You know what I'm saying? Giving thanks. Giving thanks, because it's like, I want more. I want more. But why do I need more? Why do I have everything that I need in front of me? Everything that I need is in front of me. Everything that I need is inside of me. So why do I need more when I'm enough? When I'm already whole.
Seeking more.
Yes, we're always seeking more. I had to hold myself accountable. I had to check myself, because sometimes we don't check ourselves.
I know.
We like to put it on other people.
Yeah.
But see, what I do now, I hold myself accountable.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with nobody else. It's about me. And ego is a mofo.
Yes.
Ego is a mofo. Ego will have you questioning your greatness. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bruh, when your ego die, that ego like to rise back up too. You know what I'm saying? So that's a part of darkness. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you got to understand that darkness provokes light.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? You just got to continue to move on, move on, move on. That's what it's about. Life is like ebbs and flows. You have to surrender.
Yeah, that's the key word right there. I think
you have to surrender. because I was so resistant. I was, my heart, I had to put my hand over my heart and I had to just surrender. Just surrender. You got to surrender.
That's what it's about. Listen, and that's the thing too. Like I think a lot of times, and what I've learned in my own process, especially like the past couple of weeks, I've really been intentional because like I told you before, I go into hibernation mode. Last 2 months of the year in December, I go even deeper. So today I did my little TJ Maxx run. I got my candle. I'm grateful for my candles. But I got me some journals and I got some cards and stuff that I'm really about to start working through. But it's like, we really got, because when we realize we get triggered a lot more easily, or certain patterns or certain things are coming back up, it's like, okay, there's still some stuff in there. Let me go and dig the rest of this out and go and start processing. So a lot of times we need to go and sit in solitude. We need to surrender to the process that our pain will go away if we do the work. Like we can say we want all these things, but we have to know there's no destination to this healing part. It's always going to be a journey. We just going to keep getting better. We're just going to keep elevating, and we might get to the, the level that we say we want to, and that's going to be something we got to work on there. But that doesn't mean it's always got to be a negative thing. Working on ourselves is not a negative thing, but it can be heavy. And that's the thing too, like being a kid and dealing with that inner child, and like all of us have had some type of something in life, and it don't have to be these grand big events. It don't have to be a disaster or have to be abuse, that kind of thing. It could have been somebody just disappointing us. It could have been just somebody, just not approving of just who we are. And so a lot of times we get stuck in the old stuff, the old narratives people have attached to us, that we don't want to embrace the dark, when it's like, nah, I embrace all my dark. I love to do that type of work because it helps me see where I am. And I know, like, even a year ago, I could be like, oh, okay, I can tell I would have responded differently. And I know I saw something you shared the other day. It might have been yesterday. I can't remember what day. Sometimes, I pop in, I come off. But it was funny. I started laughing. I was like, we are so in sync even when we not together, because the anger iceberg, I sent that to like 2 of my clients this week for homework. And and one of them was like, I'm going to put it on my wall, because a lot of us, like, we know we ain't, like, those are the common. We know we happy, we sad, and we mad. Those are the ones that most people know. It's like anger has so much under it. And I want people to get in tune. That's why one of my missions is people to get in tune with their emotional wellness. It's like, all right, you angry, but what is the root of that? You got to get to the root, because a lot of us are not really angry. We could just be sad. We could just be hurting. We could just be disappointed. We could just be feeling abandoned, whatever. But when I saw that, I started smiling. I was like, yep, because I'm on the same page of, like, get to the root of your anger. Like, we can take a pill, we can take care of these symptoms. Like I was watching a live the other day, and the lady was talking about, when we get sick with stuff, we run to the store, we run to whoever, and we take supplements, or whatever. What about your spiritual pill? What are you doing to fulfill your spiritual wellness? And it was just like, that was deep for me, because a lot of times we don't think about it. It's like, how are you taking care of the spiritual side, so ego won't come up so much? We got to be able to take every day and keep pushing. But then at the same time, it's like, how are you working on your healing? It goes back to the bear, being sensitive to where we are right now and identifying where we need the most healing at, so we can start working. Because like I said, I'm so big on coping. We all need coping skills. We all need recovery tools. But if I want to find out why I'm so anxious, I need to get to the root cause of it. I need to do the work to understand, like, oh, this is where my anxiety really started manifesting. But if I had to keep pushing and nobody told me how to process or deal with this, then I'm going to learn to be an adult that can't function. And I'm going to be stuck in my 8-year-old self most of my life, because I don't know what it's like to have to sit in the stillness to be able to process. So that's my little soapbox. I'm just, I just want people to be okay with embracing the dark. So that way you can continue to be light. People want to chase the dreams and all these things, but then you don't know where you're going. And then you got people who, the word vacation, like you want to vacate. Vacate means to leave the premise. It means to leave and don't come back type energy. So when we got the mindset, I'm going on a vacation, we escaping our life. Why we need to escape our life? Why are we vacating our life? So I'm so big on people like going to the resorts and going to the retreats. That's great, but you still gonna have the same issue when you come back. So at what point do you say, I'm tired of vacationing my life? I'm tired of having to use that week every year to go off to some beautiful resort. Then when I come back, it's like, oh, back to reality. Nah, we need to be creating a life so that way when we go on these trips, they're an added bonus. Like, we're excited to go do these things. We're doing the work, even at a stoplight. If you get triggered, oh, no, not right now. No, maybe right now. Maybe right now. Maybe we need to, because you've been avoiding it for so long. Some kind of comment. Tap in sounds like men's mental health, key point, self-love, self-awareness. Oh,
Love you too.
shout out, love, love, love. And that's the thing too, like the mental health, and don't get the men's mental health is a whole other topic for me. I was just like telling one of my homeboys the other week, like, we need you, man. Black male therapists.
Yes, we need them. We need them.
It's, and just a therapist plug that I gotta point out is that you don't have to be dealing with, because you don't have to have a diagnosis. Let me put this out there. You don't have to have a diagnosis to go to therapy. You don't have to have because a mental illness requires a diagnosis. Nothing to be ashamed of, for number one. Let's be clear. Most people, depression and anxiety falls into somebody's life, because that's where we stay stuck, the past and the future. So we always gonna be anxious, we always gonna be depressed. But at what point do you say, I want to get into the power of now, I wanted to focus on right now? So if you just struggling with expressing your emotions, go to therapy. Go talk to someone, get a coach, get a mentor. If you are a parent or somebody that's an active person in a child's life, they're gonna get on your nerves. Sometimes you might be needing that guidance to help them. Like, we all got to take care of the mental. The mind is a tool. And some people don't understand. Some of this stuff is all an illusion anyway, but that might go over certain people's heads.
It is an illusion.
We gotta use our imagination. Like, go back to when we was a kid and we could just, use our imagination.
Yes.
People don't use it. They don't use it no more.
They don't use it no more. Like, you gotta really dream big.
I love
like
dream.
Me too. me too. And you know what? I like to just sit back and just smile and just think about different things. Like, I just create my own reality in my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I want to do this. I don't like driving, right? So I don't like driving. So people want cars and stuff like that. I want a driver. You know what I'm saying? I want a driver. I want somebody to be able to come up and pick me up and take me where I want to go, because I don't want to drive. If you don't want to drive, you don't have to drive, because
normalize that. Hello.
Yeah, let's normalize not wanting to drive if you don't want to drive. Let's normalize if you don't feel comfortable driving, you don't have to drive. Let's normalize not worrying about what somebody say. Do what you want to do.
Thanks.
You know what I'm saying? I was working on trying to drive. I don't like driving, so I'm not gonna drive.
I love that, because it's a lot of people that probably feel the way you feel, but then again, like you said,
I don't like driving. I do not like driving. I have the gas money. I do not like driving. That does not bring me joy. My mind is constantly racing when I'm driving. It doesn't bring me joy. So why do I have to continue to put myself in situations that's not for me? Driving is not for me. It might be for you, but it's not for me. And it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. And that's the thing too, you knowing yourself. That's how you tap into your spiritual journey, your awareness, your authenticity. Because there are some people, honestly, people who force, and I can speak for myself too, but there are some people who get very anxious. There are some people that it brings stress, because you're not only worrying about yourself, you got to look out for the other people on the road. And so normalizing that this is my thing that is going to work for me. I mean, I work for you, and I don't care what nobody else say.
And let's normalize being a minimalist too. You know what I'm saying? So basically, bruh, you can make it with 7 pair of pants, 7 shirts. You know what I'm saying? The shoes that you already have. You can make it with everything that you already have. You know what I'm saying? Because you continue to build and build. Are you really using these things? Are we doing this because the society is telling us to do it so we can fit in? Sometimes it's okay to fit out.
It is right.
You know what I'm saying? And guess what? You're able to save your money. You know what I'm saying? You're able to build on. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't even have to have that much money coming in every month to save that $5,000 in 1 year.
Yeah, it's about discipline.
It's all about discipline.
You're gonna get it. If you did, and you know what? I didn't really know. I learned about minimalism a few years back. One of my supervisors, she started a blog on that and everything, and I didn't really know. And even then, I was still learning about it. It was still new to me. I mean, I heard of it, but never really knew nobody that actually lived the lifestyle. So when she started blogging and talking about it and sharing about it at work, it really meant, because I was thinking like, well, shoot, a lot of times, like, you know, we really, especially when it comes to clothes and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we waste so much time and money on clothes because we worried about our appearance. And ain't nothing wrong with that, because I'm big on you finding what makes you love yourself. And
Of
you know, I'm big on
course.
spoiling yourself. But when we think about needs and wants and sacrifices, like, you know, like for people that are trying to, you know, have certain goals in place, or people that's trying to have certain accomplishments, sometimes we gotta bite the bullet, compromise, not spend money, not get the big purchases, cut back, don't get the hair done, don't get the nails done, don't buy the Jordan as soon as they come out, because I might need that. Like, everybody has their own priorities and goals, but minimalism, when you if you really truly live that life, you really see like, oh, so this what true gratitude is.
Yeah, because that's what it is. Yo, I already, like, in my closet right now, I already have like 14 pair of shoes, right? So if I have already 14 pair of shoes that I'm not wearing every day anyway, most of the times I'm sitting in the house, I'm a hermit. You know what I'm saying? I'm with Seth most of the time. I'm wearing slides. I have a pair of Nike slides on right now. So I already have the shoes, I already have the clothes. Yeah. So why don't I give it to people that might need it? You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at things. You know what I mean? I've even was like, yo, got on Facebook and was like, yo, who needs shoes? You know what I'm saying? Who need this and who need that? You feel me?
What's up?
But you know, that's just me. You know what I'm saying? Me being who I am. But it's about, you know what I'm saying? It really ain't about the destination. You feel me? So, you know, we so focused on, man, I want to get there. Yo, let's focus on the journey, because that's what makes the destination so beautiful. You understand what I'm saying? Because the gems along the way, wow. Yeah. Because, you know, we get so caught up in the destination, we don't even pay attention to the journey. And then we get to the destination, we sitting there not fulfilled because we didn't really embrace the whole journey. Yeah, the ups, the downs, you know what I'm saying, the darkness, you know what I'm saying, the failures, that, you know what I'm saying. Let's embrace of all of that and just be. Yeah. Just be, man. Just be like water, man.
Be okay with it, because a lot of times, again, we do and can't sit still, and then sometimes we busy being busy. I used to be that one too, and I'll say it so many times. Like, when I look back, it's just like I was making myself busy, but I was so wounded. I was running, so I ain't had to sit still with my thoughts. Like, I remember one time I was like, I took 18 credit. I took all of these classes and was doing this and doing that, but I was so into my stuff. And that's when I started really, when I go back and reflect to the old versions of me, I'm just like, how did I even? How did I even? Like, what in the world was I doing? And now I appreciate peace. I appreciate not having to do nothing. Like, even as, look, when certain clients cancel, oh shoot, I got something to do with that time. I can go read, you know, I can be chilling, you know. So it's just that a lot of times we have to really get into our own energy, because human nature, y'all, we always gonna be chasing something. We always gonna be doing something. But I forgot who did this quote. I want to say it's Rumi, but the quote is like, what you are seeking, you know, is seeking you. So it's like, I need y'all to get concrete on what you actually looking for, because we're never gonna be satisfied if we keep chasing all these big things. And I learned too, like, I think me and my dude was talking, and it's like, I don't aspire to have a whole lot of money. I couldn't imagine being a celebrity. That's, you know, everybody has their own thing, but I'm content with what I have now. But even things that I want as far as my goals, it don't have to be all grandiose, like, for me to feel that I'm happy and content. So that way, if those things do end up coming to me, I'm going to be just, you know, just as grateful as I was when I didn't have it. But just realizing, like, do you really want this, or is this what somebody then told you that you're supposed to have? Do you really want the thing, or you really just saying, like, well, I don't really need the Lexus, I'm fine with my Toyota Corolla. Fine. Like, pay your car off. Like, people always want to be so focused on where everybody else goals are, because they projecting on other people. And a lot of times that whole judgment aspect people be sitting on is because y'all, you know, don't want to deal with your own stuff. So go back to the bear. Like, I need y'all to be sensitive to where you at, and then also be fine on areas you need to heal. Like, oh, I'm so judgy, or I'm always comparing and contrast, because we still and you know, I just wish people would understand, like, kind of like, you know, tie everything together. What we've been talking about is just like, when you're embracing who you truly are, then when somebody come at you sideways with something else that probably would have took you out of your spot before, it shows you your growth. Like, oh, okay, you don't like what I do, or you got a problem with how I said something. Because the boundaries is so hard for a lot of people because we so concerned over what the other person gonna say. I don't care. This is how I feel. My feelings are valid. If this bothers you, then you go to your corner or you leave me alone. But I know a time that I didn't operate from my throat chakra. So I'm going back to that throat chakra when it says divine timing guides my words. I'm very appreciative of when I can say what I want to say, how I want to say it, and not feel like, oh man, I shouldn't have said that, or I might have hurt somebody's feelings. If I hurt your feelings, tell me. It's okay. We can talk about it. But that's not going to stop me from saying what I want to say.
Yeah, because sometimes sometimes that's what I used to do, right? So I used to not even say nothing and to keep the peace, but deep down inside it was turmoil inside of me. And that's with all different situations and all my past, whatever. That's what I used to do. Now it's just like, yo, I'm gonna say what I feel, and that's what it's gonna be.
That's what it is. But we feel at peace when we're able to say things. So, and that's the thing too, as far as part of, I would say like the homework that comes from this is going back to that bear card, identifying what areas you need to heal. And then if you're not sensitive to where you are right now, what's blocking you from that? What's blocking you from being vulnerable with yourself? Is it the fact that it's easy to avoid and, it's easy to go on and just live our life and not have to deal with the stuff, but then knowing that it's still going to be there? Because sometimes a lot of us be seeking stuff and we jump into these relationships, and the relationship is the one that causes us to heal. I know I speak for myself that the things that I went through in my relationship allowed me to go deeper in my healing. I was realizing like, man, I'm still running. Like I started doing the work, but it was surface. It was so surface. It was like, I had a few things and it's like, oh, okay. No, because when I realized that the self-love was not there where I would have wanted it to be, then that taught me like, go in and do some more work. Go in and do some more work. So I challenge people to think about what's blocking you. Don't wait till January 1st, 2023. Do it now. Do it today, because we don't know. We want to push things off, and sometimes it's like, okay, today is the gift. So again, what we gonna do with it? We're gonna always remind, today is the gift. What we gonna do with it?
Yeah, today is a gift. What you gonna do with it? You know what I'm saying? Because people like to plan. You know what I'm saying? Have these timelines and stuff like that. Like, well, I'll do this tomorrow. Sometimes tomorrow might never come.
Yeah.
So the day is the gift, the power now. You know what I'm saying? What happened yesterday was yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Yep. What's happening tomorrow? You don't know what's happening tomorrow. What you know now is what you got now. So if you want to start a business, do it. Because people be so like, I don't know how, bro, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. And then you'll learn on the way. Like when I started my podcast, I started on my phone. You know what I'm saying? And I started because I had to start, because if I would have still been procrastinating. Start. Just do whatever you want to do.
You're second guessing yourself.
and just focus on you. You know what I'm saying? Be selfish with you. Be selfish with you. That's a whole fact right there. You did.
Yep. Tune into y'all emotions, man. Like again, embrace it. Again, and that's another part too. I'll say the last part I'll say about this is the other part of the homework. Identify where your dark areas at. Sometimes that's an ongoing process. I'm still identifying like, oh, that's a shadow area. Okay. Sometimes we know what our areas are and what our parts are, but get into your parts. Identify like, okay, this is such and such coming up right now. This is not the adult version of me thinking, or this is not the rational me. This is the emotional me speaking. So let me calm down from this anger and identify what the anger is. But I need to be okay that, I might be this way sometimes, but that doesn't change who I'm working to be.
And we are not the same people we was like 2 weeks ago.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, we are evolving. And so like me, like I'm a different person. So you know what I'm saying? I had to learn myself. So I'm introducing this Kendra to the people in my family, like mom, my daddy, my sister, my nephew, my partner. Like, yo, this is me at this point. This is me. So you know what I mean? You got to understand. You got to adapt, you got to adjust, and you got to respect boundaries. And that's what it is.
Yeah, I love it.
So, be selfish with you. Facts, Cam.
Gems, right?
Got to be selfish with you. At the end of the day, it's just you.
Yep.
It's a battle with you. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. It's just you and
We are in
you.
our own way.
Yes, we are in our own way. We're our biggest enemy. Enemy. So let's tap into self and continue to be great, yo.
For sure.
Hey, anybody got any questions before we step off? Anybody got any questions? Because we do not want to leave y'all out. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. The people that will tune in. If y'all have any questions or anything, yo, go ahead and ask the questions. If you have any comments, go ahead and say what you say.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Whole vibe, man.
Yeah. And like I was saying earlier, if anybody that's catching, for you guys catching the replay, just as a, go back and watch the live. We always, spirit speak to us. We drop gems, but just if you got any questions, if you watch this later, you can respond here. We'll definitely get back to you. But the biggest thing is buy the journal, take the trip, whatever you sitting on, just do it. Today's the gift. What you gonna do with it? Period. And we're gonna say that over and over again.
Yes, go ahead and do it. So you know what I'm saying, try to make sure before we step off that y'all don't have any questions, y'all don't have anything that you want to say, anything that you want to add, because your input is amazing, and we appreciate y'all. So want to make sure that we are in tune with y'all, your family. So you know what I mean, everybody that's tuning in, you just got to believe in yourself, and you got to sit with yourself. And you got to look in the mirror and see what's really going on with you, because it has nothing to do with nobody else. It's just you.
That's right.
Why does this bother you so much? It has nothing to do with that person. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we're triggered by things that happen. You got to sit with yourself to understand, where did that trigger really come from? Why do I really feel this way? And so when you start sitting with yourself, understanding who you are, you're like, oh, that's why I felt this way. And then you meditate, you understand, you journal, and you work on those things, And so when you get triggered again, it's not going to be triggering like it was before. And then it'll start getting lower, and it won't trigger you anymore once you understand where it's coming from. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to the bottom of it. You know what I'm saying? Let's not stay on the surface, because that's just the manifestation of what's going on inside of us.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So let's work on what's inside of us, not what's happening outside of us. Let's work inside of us. Let's dig deeper. What's going on with you?
For real.
Are you really mad, or are you really mad? Are you really mad? Because and you ain't gotta fight people all the time. Stop fighting people.
Yep, because all you're doing is blocking your blessings. All you're doing is blocking that real healing. Like, that's why I love when you always checking in with people. Ask people how they really feeling, and always challenge. Like, again, like you said, stop going surface. Get to the root of the anger. Sit in your body because I always challenge my clients. Like, don't rush it. How you feeling? If you feeling like blah, what does blah feel like in your body? What does your body say? Because a lot of stuff that we hold and we've been holding on to,
that tension,
it's in our body.
You gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. You gotta release that. You sit in it, but you gotta let it go. You know what I'm saying? But we get so caught up with that energy and that feeling. We like feeling bad.
Yeah, some people sign up for the pain and misery.
Yeah, so it's like, it's more to life than pain and misery.
Yeah, some people take the VIP card and don't want to let it go.
Well, let me go ahead and feel this pain today. I want my heart broke. Bro, you don't want your heart broke.
No.
You really want to be loved. Love is so beautiful, especially when it comes from inside.
Ooh, that deep
yeah, that love, man. That love. So that's why I'm able to love people, because I love myself. Like, I really love myself.
Yeah.
And nobody don't owe me nothing, and I don't owe nobody nothing. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm here to experience people. I'm here to experience. I can't control a person. I'm of love and light. What's good?
Yeah.
That's the energy I'm on. So I guess nobody ain't got nothing else to say.
Nah, that's cool. That's cool.
All right, bet. Hey, we appreciate y'all. This is Freestyle Friday chat with Sheeka, of course. We'll be back next. Somebody had to say something. Let it go and get up and live. I know that's right. Yes, I know that's right. That's my mama. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I appreciate you, Ma. I really do. I love you. So, you know what I mean? You got anything else you want to say before we get off?
That's it, man. Just, as a wrap up, like, enjoy the rest of y'all day, whatever day, if you watch, so you catching a replay, but just again, today is the gift. Remind yourself of that. And if somebody has caused you to get out of your, your character, get out of your zone, figure out why and move on through the day. Don't let one negative statement block you from having a beautiful day. Again, we got enough breath in our body to move. We got to be appreciative of it. Love you too, Ms. Joyner. So thank y'all for tuning in.
Y'all already know the vibes. And y'all know I gotta play this outro. Y'all know I gotta play it.
You can be what you wanna be. See what you wanna see. Go where you wanna go. Oh. Why not? Why not us? Why not us? Why not? Why not us with Ken J? Why Not Us podcast with Ken J.